In this video, we do a tremendously clean trim that I am genuinely really proud about. We talk about you guys and what you're doing with my merch all around the world and my hearing test. This is the Hoof GP. That was a good day. Sweaty hands. We change our gloves when we can, but getting gloves on to sweaty hands is never the easiest thing in the world. People always wonder, why don't you clean all the cow's feet? Well, just look at the state of me. Never mind the cow's feet, look. That is after about 60 cows, just under 60 cows. Right.
This cow's foot is not looking good.
So clearly we can see the outside or lateral claw is miles too big, but we also need to balance and level off the inner claw. Looking from the side here, you can see how much higher the toe is, and that is no use whatsoever, and part of the reason this claw has a problem in the first place. I was just about to talk about this. Look at that for a handsome man, look. Look at that! You've been waiting around the corner, haven't you, till I started the camera? I did. This is my other brother, look. Brother-in-law, brother-in-law, brother-in-law. And you can't pick your family, can you? Anyway, we ran out of supplies. Derek actually runs the local Tarf Valley, which is an agricultural merchant. He's the boss man. How weird is that? That's weird, isn't it? No. And now that has been reduced and Derek's out of the way, we can aim our sights on solving this problem. So obviously there's a crack here in what we call the typical sole ulcer site, but can you spot what else is the problem? This isn't the reason I started to film this foot. There's another reason, and it is glaringly obvious to me. Perhaps if we look from here, you can see a little bit clearer what I'm talking about. Yep, right here, look at that. A big, huge flap of hoof horn that needs to be removed. This periopal horn is really soft and pliable, and this is what the cow uses as shock absorbers, just like your car does. Every time her foot lands, the shock is absorbed through this periopal horn, and there are 3 fingers, just like my fingers, of fat, which travel the whole entire length of the sole. And every time she steps on this part of her foot, these 3 fingers or tubes of fat, which are underneath this hoof horn, dissipate the weight of her walking. Or at least they should. In this case though, something has gone wrong, and this problem has arisen. Just never ever know how far these problems are going to go. You hope, or at least my hope today, is that this will come out here and we can get a nice clean trim. The problem isn't that it's open or anything like that. The problem is that dirt and manure get in behind these loose flaps of detached hoof horn, and they cause pressure to build up. Even that liquid you can see from the manure causes pressure build up, and that is what causes the pain and discomfort for these cows. Right, I think we'll just leave that right there. We have not finished, but we're going to put a block on there quickly before finishing this. And just like that, back on with the trim. Taking blocks on really does not take long at all. Obviously we sped that up a little bit there, but it is just a matter of a few seconds. And actually it's already stuck firmly in place. But the reason we put it on straight away and not at the end of the trim is because we want it to have as much of a curing time as possible. Although the glue is extremely strong, I still want to give it as much curing time as possible. I want absolutely no chance of that block coming off, because it will do her so much good. And speaking about blocks doing so much good, actually, I went for a hearing test the other day, and we'll discuss that in a second. Just get a little bit here. Lovely. Oh, this is turning out well, isn't it? It is slightly open and there is a bit of dermatitis there. But overall, this is looking tremendous. Oh, I'm really, really happy with this. Yeah, sometimes I realise I get too excited over feet. Cow's feet. That is looking really good. I am very, very happy with that. The only trouble is, there's a little tiny bit of dermatitis on that open lesion. It is just a tiny bit of dermatitis though, and this Repoderma should clear it up entirely. Lovely. Right, before we see her walking, and while the other guys trim her feet, let's talk about merch. I get inundated with messages and emails and comments from people right around the world who have bought our merch. And what blows me away is they tell me about, like for instance, the guy at the Guns N' Roses concert, or the lady in the marketplace, or the lady in Colorado with the beautiful street that looked like an old western town. People are always messaging me saying they're wearing our merch, and other people who are fans of the channel go up and communicate and talk and become friends because you're wearing our merch. And it blows me away that we've got this sense of community right around the world. It is truly, 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 truly amazing. I absolutely love it. And you also made so many photographs. Here's just a few of the photographs you guys have sent me over the past couple of months. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you wearing our merch means that you end up talking to a random stranger at a rock concert or in a market or downtown LA or in the middle of London, then that is something I'm seriously proud of. So thank you very much for being an amazing community. And yet, everything is in stock right now, including the hair t-shirt. Just go to thehoofgp.com and you can get anything you want from there. Right, the boys have finished trimming our front teeth, so let's see how she is walking with this block on.
When I was young, I thought control would lead me to an ending road, and heavy metal seemed to be.
So as she's walking away here, it's the perfect time to talk about my hearing test, which we'll get to in a second. But just look at how much weight this cow is putting on that block. She's got a raw open lesion on the bottom of her foot, and she weighs over 500 kilos, but she can put almost all of her weight on that block. The reason I'm talking about my hearing test is because the lovely lady with the blonde hair who's really good at singing, I can't remember her name, the second name's Bonner, but anyway, if you're watching, we were talking about this. I bump into people from the Hoof GP community all the time, and we were talking about how incredible the amount of improvement in a cow's life a block can provide. Like, just think, you're 500 kilos and you're walking around and your foot's really sore, and then all of a sudden somebody puts a little wooden device or block on your foot and it raises that sore one up off the ground. It's actually really weird to find yourself in Specsavers talking to somebody about a hearing test but also discussing cow's feet. And if that's something I brought to the world, then it's something I'm very happy and proud about. Proud? I couldn't decide what word to say. It's something that I'm very happy and proud of and proud about, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you very much for your massive support and for talking to me every time I leave the house. I really appreciate it. You can get your merch at thehoofgp.com.